Good Thursday morning.
It is Friday Eve.
I can't believe it's October 23rd already.
I know. Halloween
Wow.
next week?
It is Daycare Halloween Parade Day. So it's a big day.
Oh, that's huge. That's
yes.
huge. Yeah.
That's obviously top of mind for everyone out there.
Of course.
So that's what we're doing later. It seems like the rain is going to
Yeah.
not be as bad as yesterday, so at least the kids won't get wet. And it's always just so fun to do all these Halloween things.
It is.
It's just
It
so great. Having kids is great. Let's talk about the news here on JR Morning. Trump has changed course a little bit when it comes to Russia. And we just talked with Austin Gullett yesterday on this show, and he was saying, yeah, things are feeling a little different when it comes to tone, rhetoric. Well, yesterday, President Trump said it was time to hit Russia with tougher sanctions. He said, quote, today is a very big day in terms of what we're doing. These are tremendous sanctions. These are very big. And they are against two big oil companies in Russia. And it could make the pain be felt there in Russia. Here's the president talking about these sanctions.
Today is a very big day in terms of what we're doing. Look, these are tremendous sanctions. These are very big. Those are against their two big oil companies. And we hope that they won't be on for long. We hope that the war will be settled. We just answered having to do with the various forms of missiles and everything else that we're looking at, but we don't think that's going to be necessary. We would like to see them just take the line that has been formed over quite a long period of time and go and let's, go home. Last week they had almost 8,000 soldiers killed. Many Russians were killed last week. Many Ukrainians were killed last week. We think it's ridiculous and would like to have it end.
And so by doing this, they're hoping that it might end the war. These are against, like he said, the two biggest oil companies in Russia, Open Joint Stock Company Rosneft Oil Company and Lukoil OAO. And Scott Bessent is saying that the Treasury Department is prepared to take further action if necessary to support President Trump's effort to end yet another war. And he talked about missiles, not so much Tomahawks, but the Trump administration lifted restriction on Ukraine's use of some long-range missiles, which can go into Russia.
Yes.
So things are escalating.
Well, yeah, they are. And I guess the president understands that, who he's dealing with. He tries to be diplomatic with Vladimir Putin, and they talk, and then they're going to meet. Now they're not going to meet, and you can't trust him. And you can try to finesse Vladimir Putin all you want to, but he's still going to do what he wants to.
Yeah, and these are the first sanctions issued by President Trump in this second term against Russia. And according to experts, these two companies targeted Wednesday are two of the world's biggest, and they export 3.1 million barrels of oil per day. Rosneft alone responsible for 6% of global and nearly half of all Russian oil production.
Well, we're in, what is this, day 23?
Well, it's October 23rd. That's how I keep track of this. It's the 23rd day of this shutdown. And I believe it was the 12th time they voted in the Senate. But again, it's the same thing over and over.
Insanity.
Democrats are not budging when it comes to shifting their, stance. Fetterman from Pennsylvania, my home state, he says you got to pick country over party.
2 million Pennsylvanians depend on SNAP to helping feed themselves and their family. 2 million. And now that's going to be suspended because our government is shut down. I can't ever vote for that kinds of mass food insecurity like that. And now I'm going to be a county. I'm a country over party guy. I'm always going to vote to pay our military over the party. I'm always going to vote to pay the Capitol Police here versus over the party.
So he's saying you got to vote to open it, and he is alone in his thinking.
Well, but I have to give it to him. He stands up for what he believes in, and he says what he wants to say, and, he's like, take it or leave it. But, yeah, I get it. It's time to open. Both sides at this point, people are hurting.
Yeah.
And they're like, I need to pay my bills.
Yeah. And
I don't care who's pointing fingers at who. Get it done.
Right.
A transport truck claiming to be lost nearly became the first vehicle to cross the new Gordie Howe International Bridge, which is not open.
Trivia question.
It's not open. The driver coming from the United States side was intercepted by Canadian officials and turned back without incident. Now, officials say the driver was trying to find the nearby Ambassador Bridge and became disoriented amid the size and complexity of the construction site.
Relatable.
You can relate to that?
Yes.
Okay. The Canada Border Services Agency confirmed that no firearms were drawn and that multiple security barriers prevented the truck from entering Canada. No legal penalties were issued. The Gordie Howe Bridge, which connects Detroit to Windsor, had been scheduled to open in late 2025 this year. However, officials say that the opening has been delayed till 2026 to allow for ongoing testing and quality reviews. And construction milestones, including connecting the bridge decks and dismantling the tower cranes, have already been achieved. Officials say the incident highlights the security measures in place at the half-mile crossing, supported by massive cables stretching from concrete pillars to the deck. So he got a little disoriented, and he was going to take a trip over to Canada.
Well, I'm glad that it all,
It all
this
worked
guy's
out.
not in trouble. He just made a wrong turn. And
turn.
everyone, cooler heads, everybody, it's fine.
And all, the bridges together, and he didn't.
And he's
drop.
not the very first one to drive over it.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yesterday was the funeral service for Carolyn Cheeks Kilpatrick. They, a lot of Detroit, they honored the life and legacy of the former U.S. Congresswoman. She died on October 7th at the age of 80. She was a longtime public servant. Cheeks Kilpatrick taught in Detroit public schools before serving in the Michigan House from 1979 to 1996 and in Congress from 1997 to 2011, where she chaired the Congressional Black Caucus and served on the Appropriations Committee. And at the service at Greater Emmanuel Church of God in Christ, family and local leaders remembered her as a trailblazer, a devoted mother, a strong matriarch. Mayor Mike Duggan called her one of a kind. Governor Gretchen Whitmer highlighted the public dollars she brought to Detroit. Her son, former Mayor Kwame Kilpatrick, performed the eulogy and spoke of her fierce love, discipline, and faith, recalling personal moments even during his time in prison. Now, Cheeks Kilpatrick's life inspired colleagues, constituents, and family alike, leaving a legacy of leadership, service, and devotion to both her community and to her family. She was the one who brought the bacon. You talking about bringing the bacon home. The Q line, she brought money home for the Q line, the Rosa Parks terminal downtown. That was money for that. She brought money home for the riverfront.
Mm-hmm.
She really made sure Detroit got what it was supposed to get. And, she will be missed. Very, very nice service yesterday.
Yes, I saw that on Local 4, some of the coverage there on Local 4. And it
Yeah.
seems like Kwame was, pretty impassioned in his eulogy.
Yeah, he really was. And, it just know it's hard to eulogize your mom.
I
That's
bet.
difficult.
Yeah,
So.
I bet. Sports yesterday. First of all, we were all pumped for
We
the
were.
Pistons. Pumped for the Pistons. Looks like they do need Jaden Ivey to get better and come back. They were in Chicago. They lost 115-111, but the score's a little closer than it looked early on.
Yeah, because they had to come
As
back.
Ryan
didn't
said,
they?
they were getting worked.
Yeah.
Cade Cunningham led the way with 23, but so they're 0-1. We'll see how they bounce back from that. The Red Wings had won 5 in a row, but they dropped one to the Buffalo Sabres. They're 5-2 now. This Emmett Finney
Yeah.
is the real deal. He scored again for
That guy
Detroit.
is something,
JT
man.
Comfort was the other goal. So they lose 4-2 to the Sabres. So also they were like blacked out on TNT. Some people were trying to watch them on TNT, but they were on FanDuel Plus, blah, blah,
Oh,
blah,
God.
whatever.
It's like,
And people couldn't find the Red Wings because they were on like the plus, whatever, of FanDuel.
plus or
And
minus.
TNT was blacked out here in Detroit. So that was tough, I'm sure, for people trying to find the Red Wings.
God.
All these streaming services.
You just get confused.
Yeah.
You don't know how to watch what you want to watch.
Exactly. Okay. Coming up next on JR Morning, we're going to go back to Washington to Capitol Hill to see if anybody's budging on this shutdown at 6:19.